I have a haircut.
You what? Oh, you have a haircut.
I have a haircut.
Oh, we're recording.
Yeah.
Didn't realize. Hi.
Hi. I have a haircut and we're not wearing coats.
And we're in a weird limbo of illness.
Yeah. Yes. I haven't thrown up for 2 days.
I haven't thrown up yet. I feel great right now. By the way, thank you, alcohol.
Our youngest hasn't thrown up in like 4 or 5 days.
Since Sunday morning.
Our oldest hasn't thrown up in 3-ish days.
And our middle child hasn't thrown up at all yet. Nor have I.
Yeah. It's
But
weird.
she's hanging half off the couch.
Well, she's always slept weird. It's cool. We'll see what happens. Anyhow.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
It's been a weird one. It's been basically my worst nightmare. But that's not what we're here to discuss.
It's not.
So it's Teeny Tuesday.
Yeah, and it's been a busy one. We finished watching Endgame for the second time, but still.
Still brought tears to the eyes.
But it was a real nice lead into getting back into Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Because we had a bit of a hiatus.
Right.
When the second episode dropped, we were in Appleton.
Right, yeah.
And then the third episode dropped on Good Friday.
Yeah.
Obvious reasons. Couldn't watch either of them. So, we're on episode 2, The Star-Spangled Man. So previously, we've got that talk between Rhodey and Sam. The world is broken. The shield is in a museum. Bucky's having nightmares and making amends. Flag smashers. New Captain America.
Yes. Mr. John Walker, which we caught that name in the end credits last time.
And going into this episode, like the way they set him up, I was like, we're supposed to hate him?
Yeah, it seems like he's going to try to treat the mantle the right way. He's just kind of a high school kid who was decorated in the army, and they picked him for a reason.
Yeah, Captain America was back when he was, when John Walker was kind of in his prime, and he was like, I saw how he worked. I wanted to emulate that.
Sure.
Great. Why do I hate you? The memes tell me I'm supposed to hate you.
Yeah, because, it's been a couple episodes since we've watched, and we haven't avoided all the memes about the show. And
I mean, you just kind of come across them scrolling on Facebook. And,
yeah. This John Walker guy, blah, blah, blah. And
I'm like, I'm supposed... I don't
in
hate him right now.
In the first episode, he looked, smarmy, and it was like, oh, F this guy, but I don't know, he seemed okay at the start of this episode, so.
So you got new Captain America, you said douchey, new Captain America, Walker JW10, John Walker 10.
It sounds like that was, he was back at his old high school, so.
Yep.
He was probably the high school quarterback, all that typical stuff. That was probably his number 10. His old cheerleader or high school sweetheart or something.
Yeah, he's talking to some girl from high school, getting ready to address the nation as Captain America. Seems genuine. That will likely change. Then his black army buddy.
Yes.
Comes in. You can't just punch your way out of problems anymore. So now he's playing up the USO bit. Why is the whole marching band black?
Yeah, it was interesting, but, it was Georgia.
Yeah.
So it's not ridiculous. I don't know what the significance of it was, but he was having this Address America kind of appearance
and
at his original high school, and the whole marching band is black, and he's, I don't know.
Yeah, Felt like that was the thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's been said that Falcon the Winter Soldier is going to play up racial things.
Which they've already had done.
A bit.
In the first episode with the loan. And...
With the loan and everything, but I thought that was, very subtle and very well done and not overstated.
Yeah.
Which I was expecting more like punch you in the face kind of thing.
We'll get there. Good Morning America. It's clearly night, bro. It was literally the show Good Morning America, and I thought it was a Good Morning Vietnam thing. But so he went to high school in Georgia. He's, doing this interview. He's like, I'm not Tony Stark. I'm not Bruce Banner. But no Steve Rogers shout out. Interesting.
I thought that was weird. He said, I'm not those guys. But it wasn't until the reporter brought up Steve Rogers that he even mentioned it.
Yeah.
I thought that was weird.
Yeah. I liked that what I was doing made people safe.
Yeah, she was asking about... Because he was kind of downplaying himself, and she was like, well, he's just being humble. He was a decorated soldier and blah, blah, and he was like, I was just happy that what I was doing made people safe.
Steve Rogers, even though I never met him, feels like a brother. And then you got, like, Bucky and Sam's reactions to that.
They're watching on the TV and kind of react. Well, they're watching. They didn't really react outwardly, but they're kind of...
And then our very first scene with Bucky and Sam interacting for the first time in the show.
The first episode.
You shouldn't have given up that shield. Bucky to Sam. It's like,
Good to see you too, Buck.
Well, and I like how they just... Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan have really good chemistry. They went right back into their characters,
And that's why I'm glad we finished watching Endgame tonight, because they did have interactions. They had chemistry. They had a moment together at the funeral. These two guys
when old Steve reappeared.
Yeah, these two guys do have a history. They do have a relationship of sorts. So it seemed a bit out of the blue when it was announced, when this show was announced as these two pairing up. I mean, yeah, okay, the Captain America connection, but I didn't have any recollection of the two of them really interacting, but they did.
Yeah.
So.
And I think it's very telling that in Endgame, when young Steve Rogers was about to go place back the stones, he and Bucky had a moment where Bucky knew
Yeah.
he wasn't going to come back, at least not in the way that he expected.
Yeah.
He knew, because he's from that same era, and he is also super soldier, and
he knows what Steve really wanted, and he saw an opportunity to have a real life. So Bucky said goodbye, a real goodbye, before Steve went.
So then when Sam saw that Steve was back, and they had this very, very beautiful, subtle exchange. It was I don't even know if there were words spoken. We just watched it, I can't remember, but I think it was mostly just gestures.
I think Bucky said, go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And because he had already said goodbye.
Right.
And he also knew that the shield wasn't meant for him. He wasn't supposed to take up that mantle. And he knew that Sam was, and that's why he's so pissed at Sam for giving it up.
For giving it up, yeah.
And again, we'll get there.
Yeah, it's
Great
just,
scene,
it's interesting. It's,
by the way,
Bucky has the most respect for the shield, and because of that, recognizes that he can't have it. but he'll be irritated at anybody that doesn't respect it.
Yeah. Including Sam.
Just including Sam or anybody who is supposed to take it up.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to lead the charge against the guy that ends up taking it up, John Walker, for not respecting it truly. And I think that is going to it's partially going to feed into Sam's dislike of John Walker, but Sam also feeling responsible for the shield, even though he chose not to take it up, he feels that responsibility because Steve handed it essentially directly to him. So it's really cool. Two different takes on feeling responsibility for the shield with Steve's passing. I assume he's dead at this point.
Or he's on the moon.
Or he's on the moon. Yeah, one of the two.
With Nick Fury.
It could be.
So anyway, they start talking business, i.e. Flag Smashers. They talk about the big three, androids, aliens, and wizards. And Bucky's like, what? There's no such thing as wizards. Sam is like, Doctor Strange.
He's a sorcerer.
This is a wizard without a hat.
It's a wizard without a hat.
And then Bucky has this, and I did see this even before the show dropped. I saw this meme. He drops Gandalf, and Sam was like, how do you know about Gandalf? I read The Hobbit in 1937, when it first came out. And I loved that. Like...
Yeah.
What? Also, shout out to J.R.R. Tolkien. Love it. Anyway. So Bucky goes on Sam's mission with him. Like,
it just kind of stows away on it.
And Sam and Bucky are just looking at each other on the plane. Sam jumps out of the plane, so does Bucky, and now Leah loves Sebastian Stan.
Yeah, so they're like 200 feet over the ground, and Bucky's like, all right, where's the other chute? And they're like, we're flying too low. The chute wouldn't work at this height. And he's like, all right, I can land at that height. Rips the sleeve off of his, off his arm, and he's like, all right, I can land this. And he just jumps out, and he lands, and he's fine, but he's kind of like, and then Red Wing flies overhead, and he's like, you realize I saw that, right? I got all that on camera.
So they meet up, talking to Target. They think they're smuggling weapons. Sam, hey, we're not assassins. Bucky looks mildly offended.
Yeah, because Bucky's all about, like, all right, let's go take him. Sam's like, we're here for surveillance. We're watching them. And Bucky's like, there's only two.
No?
There's only 2 soldiers. We can take him out.
There's 4. No, there's 8. There's a hostage. Sam calls Bucky White Panther. It's actually White Wolf.
Huh?
He said, huh? That was a Black Panther T'Challa reference. I mean, Bucky rehabilitated.
Right.
In Wakanda.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you said Sam's all about surveillance. Bucky's all about action. The smugglers have a hostage. Both leap into action, and they're stealing medicine and vaccines. The hostage is a super flag smasher who is played by the pirate gal in Solo.
Yep.
she's a little typecast because, well, first of all, she's very distinctive looking.
Mm-hmm.
And second of all, I don't think she's the bad guy.
Right. Yeah. And I think that story played out in this episode as like, why are they making the bad guys seem really sympathetic and caring?
Now they are the, let's get back to how it was when we were in the blip, and
that seems
that's
problematic.
not good. That seems very sympathetic to Thanos.
Right. And they're also, you know, I don't want to get political, but they're one world. Like, one world, one government kind of a...
That's not a good idea.
It's not a good idea, and it's not a good thing.
Nope.
But that's the direction they're going, so whatever.
Anywho, Captain John shows up. He's pretty good with the shield, actually.
So yeah, they're fighting on the train.
Yeah,
right?
and he's like, whipping the shield around, and he seems like he's got a good grasp on it, and whatever, and...
Sam and Bucky are doing their thing. They're fighting the Flag Smashers, and they're a little bit pinned down, and then Captain John shows up, and he whips the shield around, and he's knocking people down with it, and catching the shield, and, doing sort of the Captain America thing.
Yeah, and there is this really cool moment when Bucky catches the shield really quick and then hands it to John.
Yeah.
So, I saw that too. I was like, what's that happen?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it wasn't like it wasn't a respect thing, though.
It was a we're in the heat of battle thing.
It was a I got this too. And they like I don't know, the way he caught it, he was just like, you're nothing special. I don't know. There was something about it.
Nice little moment. And then Captain John uses a gun.
Yeah. So they're fighting, and Captain John, he's hitting somebody with the shield, but they catch it, and he's kind of wrestling, and then he whips out a pistol, and...
Which, I was like, oh, he's gone. Captain America, Steve Rogers never did that. Well, no, he did.
He definitely did.
But in his big Avenger moments, nope, never used a gun.
Yeah, not post-war.
Not after First Avenger.
Right.
Like his first movie. He used it. He used a gun in that movie, but after that, you never saw it. I mean, look at Endgame. Battling Thanos with his brute strength and his shield.
Mm.
But... And then you realize that all the Flag Smashers are super soldiers. John Walker gets his ass kicked. Red Wing is broken. Then you got the scene with Bucky and Sam walking after the battle. Bucky says, sorry about Red Wing. Sam says, no, you're not.
Mm-hmm.
Then John offers Sam and Bucky a ride. They reject him. They convince John and his buddy, the Flag Smashers... but they reject him initially, but then they do take the ride. And then they convince John and his Black Army buddy... Hoskins. That Flag Smashers are super soldiers. And Black Army buddy, Hoskins, says... or was it John? No, it was John Walker that says... that Serum doesn't have a great track record. No offense.
To Bucky.
And it's like, that's such a dick move because Bucky didn't, and it's pretty much public knowledge at this point, I think, that Bucky didn't have any control over it. He didn't ask for it. He was captured. Yeah, I mean,
I don't want to be an apologist for John Walker here, but I get it. If the public take on the soldier serum is a negative thing because it gave power to the Winter Soldier, who, you know, is generally regarded as bad. He's basically saying, like, yeah, the super soldier serum is not, doesn't have a great track record. Sorry.
But I kind of think that he has the super soldier serum.
You think John Walker does? He got his ass kicked by a super soldier teenage chick. Or maybe early 20s teenage. Maybe early 20s chick. I don't know whoever that chick is. But he got it handed to him. He didn't seem particularly super soldiery.
Oh, so then...
Maybe he's on good old American steroids. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something...
Yeah.
Like, you start off thinking... At the beginning, like I said, at the beginning of the episode, you're like, why do I hate this guy? But then John and his crew were tracking Red Wing, its government property, which... In the very first episode... You know, Sam's working on the thing, and his Torres or whoever that was like, oh, I can help. And he's like, nope. All you government people, every time you touch it,
yeah,
whatever.
So Sam is
confirmation.
Yeah, Sam's not too keen on the fact that the government basically has full power over his tech.
Yeah.
And I don't think he fully knew that.
No. Walker's buddy's name is Hoskins. Okay. John, I'm not trying to be Steve. It's a lot easier if I had Cap's wingman at my side. It's always that last line. Because at that point, Bucky had already said, pull over, I'm out.
Yeah.
It would be real easier if I had Cap's wingman at my side. Fuck you, buddy, I'm out. And then we see Flag Smasher or Flag Master?
Flag Smasher.
Flag Smasher. Okay, yeah. That chick go to a secret hideout. Their host is really, really eager. His wife made chicken liver. And then we see her getting a text threatening her life. Her name is Carly. She tells the group, after tomorrow, there's no going back. One world, one people. That's their motto. Then we cut to Bucky and Sam. Bucky wants Sam to take the shield back. Sam says something about the last time we tried to take the shield.
Yeah. He had this little thing about, you remember how it went the last time we tried to take the shield.
I think that was Civil War. No, they were on the same side. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I didn't fully know what he was talking about there.
Maybe he was referencing Tony.
Maybe.
Yeah. Bucky says there's someone you should meet, so we go to Baltimore. Hey, it's Black Falcon. It's just Falcon Kid. So what are you? Black Kid. Lol.
Yeah, no, he has a little interaction with a local kid who is like, it's Black Falcon. He's like, no,
I'm just Falcon.
Name's just Falcon.
Are you Black Kid?
Are you Black Kid? I gotta laugh out of that.
So Bucky takes Sam to see Isaiah, who's a guy that Bucky knew from the Korean War. Isaiah kicked Buck's ass in 1955. Bitter old black man. You think you can wake up one day and decide who you want to be? Isaiah was a super soldier. He had got the super soldier serum. He was locked up for 30 years for his troubles. He very much kicks them out. There was a black super soldier decades ago, and no one talked about it. Cops start to give Sam trouble, so, because Sam and Bucky are kind of arguing, cops pull up, they do the typical to Bucky, oh, is this guy giving you trouble, because they're white cops in a very black neighborhood. Typical racial stuff. Bucky ends up getting arrested because he missed a therapy session after the cops asked if Sam was bothering Bucky. I kind of liked that scene, though. So Sam meets with Bucky's therapist. John bailed Bucky out. Therapist demands Sam joins Bucky's remedial therapy session. Therapist is kind of awesome. I hope she's a regular. She uses couples therapy tactics. The miracle question. In my miracle, you would talk less. And, the other says the same thing. They have a staring contest. Awesome. Therapist asks Bucky, why does Sam aggravate you? And don't say something childish. So Bucky says, why'd you give up the shield? If Steve was wrong about you, maybe he was wrong about me. Which I loved.
Yes. So that's why Bucky is so invested in...
Yeah, it's not that he wants to take up the shield himself. It's... He gave it to you. I saw him give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
He thought you were worthy. And if you're giving it up, that means he was wrong about you. So was he wrong about me? Am I on the precipice of a relapse here?
Yeah. So Bucky's essentially his self-confidence, which he took from Steve, is dependent on Sam rising to the occasion.
Yeah. Sam says, I did what I thought was right. Fair.
Yeah.
But clearly you were blindfolded.
Yeah. Your trust was placed in the wrong people, or you were betrayed, whatever it is, however you want to put it. Yeah. You should have taken it up.
Yeah. So they're both walking away from the therapy session, and Bucky turns to the therapist and he says, what was rule number 2 again? The therapist says, don't hurt anyone. And then they run into John Walker again. He's trying to bring them into the team. Sam doesn't want to work with John because he has rules of engagement. John says, well, then stay the hell out of my way.
Yeah. So basically Sam wants to operate as a superhero, as a vigilante, operate under the Sokovia Accords, but
a government-mandated vigilante,
yeah,
which is a
weird,
very contradictory,
very, but
term.
John is a government-created thing. He's straight up government soldier. He has way more rules of engagement, way more rules.
Red tape.
Way more red tape. And Sam's like, I'm just not interested in operating under those rules.
I was going to stay out of my way. Well, no, you stay out of my way because I can work on my own. You can't. Boo. Yeah.
Boo, yeah.
You noted, are we really going to sympathize with the Flag Smashers? Yes and no. They are very misled.
They're an idealistic group.
And idealism is very much not good. Fact. One of the flag smashers sacrifices himself so the rest can escape. You get your Carly girl shedding a tear for him.
Mm.
When Isaiah said Bucky's people, he didn't mean whites, he meant Hydra. So Sam says, we're going to go see Zemo, which was the villain in Civil War.
Right.
He was the one that caused the bomb to go off that killed T'Challa's father.
Right.
Which T'Challa realized at the very end, and he sat down next to Zemo, and the very last shot we get in this episode is Zemo sitting in a cell.
Yep. So, yeah.
So one of the memes I saw was, am I really sympathizing more with Zemo than John Walker? And John Walker, and I just keep thinking about Chuck, John, Casey, and Sarah Walker. So I'm really confused right now. But yeah.
So yeah.
Yep.
That's where we sit.
That's where we sit. Glad we did this.
Same. All
It's not 1 o'clock yet, so.
Hey.
8.
All right. Till next time.